I think every other ministry in the church exists to support the work of evangelism. Think about it for a second. Healing, prophecy, pastoring, teaching, all of it flows from and points back to the first call, which is preach the gospel to the lost and make disciples of all the nations. If you think about it for a minute, there's no one to pray for healing. There's no one to prophesy over. There's no one to teach. There's no one to shepherd if we first don't go out and share the gospel to bring in the lost into the kingdom. I mean, we're all in the church as believers because someone shared the gospel with us or with our families, right? So that's why I say I think every other ministry in the church exists to support the work of evangelism. Now, in the church today, evangelism is often seen as optional, right? It's often left to a few special people that have the gift or the anointing or whatever, but it's not for us. It's too scary. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to have to talk to strangers. But if we look at the New Testament, evangelism was the job of every believer. And the Spirit right now is calling us back to evangelism. He's raising up an army of believers to preach the good news of Jesus Christ right where they are, okay? So the other thing that I noticed that we do in the church today is that we often skip over evangelism and move right to the power gifts, okay? So let me explain. What we see in the New Testament is that the gospel would be preached, okay? The ministry of evangelism would go first, and then healing, prophetic utterances, deliverance, signs, those sorts of things would follow, supporting and verifying the truth, confirming the message of the gospel. Nowadays, what we typically do is we largely neglect and ignore evangelism and go right to the power gifts. And we minister most of that internally into the church. Like the vast majority of those ministries are internal for the church, for other Christians, the already saved. Now, here's the deal. I'm not suggesting that there's something wrong with the power gifts. I mean, when we need healing, James 5 says, call for the elders of the church. Prophecy is meant to encourage, edify, and comfort the church in 1 Corinthians 14. Even deliverance. I love how in the Lord's Prayer, our daily prayer, he says, deliver us from evil. Think about that for a minute. Deliverance is a part of our daily prayer, right? But my point is, we often seek these gifts and these ministries to the exclusion of evangelism. And we forget the fact that evangelism was a frontline ministry and these power ministries backed it up and supported it.